Good morning.
Good morning.
Wendy's going to share with us all her favorite bits. Yeah. So how are you?
Good.
I brought you a weird coffee.
Yes. This is a new one. I Googled the secret menu for 7 Brew, and it has been updated this month. So there was a bunch of new stuff on there. Several minty things, I think, for St. Patrick's Day.
I was going to say.
And I got the grasshopper, which is one of those minty things. It's not very minty, though. It's supposed to have mint syrup and creme de menthe in it. And
have you ever had the alcoholic drink, the grasshopper?
yes, and it's delicious.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it green?
It's green.
Huh, gross.
But it's like, it has ice cream in it.
Oh, that's right.
It's like
I could be
chocolate chip
swayed
ice cream.
with some ice cream.
Yeah.
I think that, I could be. Mine is a lavender lemon energy, 7 energy. And it looks like the color of dirt.
It's charcoal, I think.
It looks like a mud puddle
A good description.
in a cup. And she asked me if I wanted light ice again.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And it's very syrupy. I had just gotten through saying, when you were saying earlier about it not being very minty, this is really syruped up. Maybe it's my fault because I chose 2.
Maybe.
Does that give me 2 shots of syrup?
Probably.
Gross. I should watch that next time.
You could probably say light on the syrups.
I'll say light ice, light syrup, light. I don't know what else there is. So apparently
Sunshine.
This clear liquid before the syrup is caffeine, clear caffeine liquid. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Some kind of energy drink that they have.
What naturally occurring things besides coffee have caffeine in them? Well, chocolate. Okay. That's the end of that list.
Yeah, that's about it.
Let's talk about our cheesy horror movies.
Woo!
Wendy.
All right. So the 2 movies were House, which
Yes.
is from 1985, because there's lots of movies named House. So if you're looking for it, use 1985 and it'll come up for you.
All right.
And Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
88.
88. So
Which, I was surprised that you picked a movie from 88. And it really resonated with me in a lot of ways. Especially the clothes. Her clothes. So, okay, where do you want to start with Killer Klowns?
Yeah, let's just get into it.
Oh, we have to talk about that.
Okay, so I'll give my synopsis, summary, whatever. This classic, with a K, is everything you want in a campy horror flick.
With a K.
Clowns, corny bits, and clever killings, all with a K.
Yes. Nice.
It is, to me, like the perfect campy horror film.
It was the worst.
It was the worst and the best.
Yes, it was. I mean, yeah, it's really a send up of all that kind of cheesy horror.
Yes.
Where, like,
if you're in the mood for this kind of movie, this is the epitome of what you want, I think. It was just, I just found it to be like very clever, and all the, like, I loved all the like cheesy bits that it had, that are, some of them are like, mostly clown related.
Well, yeah.
Because it's clowns, but well, I made a list because I'm a nerd.
Let's hear 'em.
These are my favorite bits. And spoiler alert, but the movie's been out for 30 years. The clown car, instead of him being in a clown car, he is the car. And on his shoes, he's got headlights.
Yeah.
The shower scene where they spill the popcorn, and then the kernels of popcorn are crawling across the floor like an insect or a worm.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. It's so funny.
It was so gross.
The balloon animal on a leash.
Yes.
The dog. I love that. That would be a really fun Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah.
Be a killer clown, and then you have that as an accessory. Officer Mooney as a ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, that was
ventriloquist dummy.
gross.
It was gross, but it was clever.
That was listed on one site I was looking at as the scariest scene.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
This movie's not really scary.
That was the most I literally killed a person in a gross way scene.
Yeah.
That was the only one.
Everything else was more like funny how they killed them.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
just like you get wrapped up in some cotton candy spool.
Because it's always using humans for energy.
That's all aliens want with us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Sustenance.
Fucking crazy.
Another door. Yep. In the funhouse. And the cherry on top of the killer pie.
Oh, yeah.
They killed those guys with pies, and then the last clown comes and puts a cherry on the pile of pie. I just thought that was really funny. And the best one is the shadow puppet scene.
Oh, yeah. The shadow puppet scene was great.
Yeah, where it turns into a dinosaur and actually kills and eats the people.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that, but they did it.
They did.
Well, they had some kind of extra powers to like spring into the air, and I don't know.
Yeah.
And the guy said maybe ancient aliens came and that's where we get our ideas of what a clown looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I couldn't really wrap my brain around that one.
No, you definitely don't. You can't be like, this is not realistic because it's so unrealistic.
Right.
To make those comparisons would be crazy. But I just... Yeah, I just thought, I don't know. I really like this movie. I haven't seen it for a very long time, but I remember it fondly from seeing it before. And it only cost $1.8 million to make.
That's a lot for what? No.
I guess it is a lot for the 80s, maybe, but 1.8 is a very low budget.
That's why they hired catalog models instead of actors.
Yes.
That's what I wrote. And the cop, I also thought he may have been a hand model as well because of the delicate way he held his flashlight, had his little pinky in the air and everything. I don't know.
You have a thing with hands. I never look at people's hands.
1,000% have a thing with hands, Wendy. I have a thing with thumbs.
Okay.
And hands in general, and they creep me out.
Okay.
And one of the first things there, the couple is in the back of they're having a date in a inflatable raft in the back of his SUV. I don't think they called him that then.
No, it was like a station wagon, maybe.
Bronco.
Yeah.
Anyway, he puts both of his hands on the sides of her head and then like kisses her. I hate that. I hate hands on faces in kissing scenes, but two hands clasping her head.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
It almost looked like he was making out with a mannequin.
Full circle.
Full circle mannequin.
Yes. So this is written and directed by Chiodo Brothers. And this was their one and only movie. I think because it was a masterpiece. But they also did all the makeup and costumes themselves.
Oh, wow.
So
it was hideous. Mm-hmm. What I did first was I pulled it up on my screen and I uncomfortably stared at it. For like 15 minutes. I was like taking deep breaths and like, gotta get into this. And the next thing I did, I honestly did. I had to rev myself up for it. So then I thought, okay, I'm just going to dip in a toe and I'm just going to watch the trailer. I wrote,
bad idea.
I know, I wrote, I'm queasy. Queasy after watching the trailer. And honestly, the trailer had every interesting part in it. Like,
even the dinosaur?
I think so. It may or may not have, but it was a lot to take in, and I was just like, I had to swallow hard and just be like, okay, I have to just watch it. So corny. So corny. The first guy that, Jehoshaphat.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, oh, what a dumb character. And he's got a bloodhound and he's a hillbilly. And what's a circus doing out here in the wilderness?
Tarnation.
Oh, goodness. So he's the first one that they that we assume is killed. What did they do with his dog? They scooped him up in a net.
Maybe he's also in a cocoon of cotton candy.
Woo-hoo! Coffee break! Let's talk about our beans.
Hey Bean Flickers, have you followed us yet? We are on Instagram and Facebook at Flickin' Beans Pod. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave us a review.
Right? Oh God, cotton candy cocoons. It didn't make sense.
Touching cotton candy gives me the ick.
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's gotta. I mean, eating it is okay because it dissolves and whatever, but I don't like touching it.
It sticks to your fingers. It's like fiberglass.
Yeah, immediately gets wet and sticky and ugh. So being wrapped up in cotton candy sounds terrible.
Ugh. I don't know how it would kill you.
No, I don't think they are dead.
They're dead.
They're dead?
They're dead.
Okay.
And then at one point, the clown gets out his silly straw, pokes, and he's like squeezing it to see if it's ripe. This giant hanging bag of person.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a cotton candy light bulb.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just hanging him up, hanging him up. And he stuck his silly straw in there because apparently it's putrefied now, the person. And he's drinking. And of course he has a silly straw.
Yeah.
That was the funnest part. It kept going and going and going. And when I was a kid, that was like the most magical thing. If I could get a silly straw and then you get it and you use it and you're like, okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
How do you ever clean it?
You can't. You try to use it again and you're like, oh, there's black stuff in it.
Did you say black stuff?
Yeah.
I was like, my first thought was, what are you drinking that's black?
Why it gotta be black?
Oh my God. The when the speaking of the popcorn.
Yes.
Which I did kind of predict. I was like, is that their clown babies? Which that did not, I mean, sure. Okay. I had to just be like, okay. But the thing that cracked me up was when they were running away after being shot with the popcorn, and the popcorn was literally like glued onto their clothing in like a really nice grid pattern. And even though they ran and ran and ran through the woods, she even had popcorn still like 3 pieces glued to her hair.
Yeah.
And I was just like, come on. But now I see the need for it because otherwise, how could they have had the jump scare in the bathroom if she hadn't brought some of that popcorn home on her clothing?
Exactly.
So dumb.
The fun fact, the popcorn gun that they use, most expensive prop.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Maybe because it had to work for real.
Did it?
I don't know. I just read that.
Oh.
If you can trust Wikipedia.
Well, yeah. I mean, because they didn't make the guy who was a car work for real. There was some good effects. Oh, okay. Do you know? Okay, this is what this movie, okay. I'm coming to it. I'm getting there. When I was a junior or senior in high school, maybe sophomore, it doesn't matter. But it's when they make you read Romeo and Juliet and then do some kind of project. Like, I don't know why you would build a diorama of the theater. That's stupid. But my friend and I decided to be very creative, and we wanted to make a music video. That of Romeo and Juliet. I was Romeo. She was Juliet. And in order to, we thought we were so smart. And we were, because you hardly noticed. It was so seamless. I'll tell you what I did. I ran in her front yard, and then I leaped into the air, and they stopped the camera. And then I went inside the house, and I hung kind of outside the window. And then they started the camera again, so it looked like I jumped
nice
up into the second story window, because that's how Romeo and Juliet like goes. Yeah, she's in the balcony, he just jumps up there.
Right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was a great video though. We had it done to Prince, I Would Die For You. It was so great. so true to Shakespeare. We gave her one of those pointy hats. That's a princess hat, right?
Oh, yeah. Kind of
Where
like
did we get
wizard
that?
hat.
Yes. Where did we ever get that idea? Anyway, we did it. We got an A. So like in this movie, they had several times where they supposedly crashed into something. And instead of actually crashing the car, because that would have drove up the $1 million to $1,010,000.
Yeah.
The Crown Victoria. So the cop, he's basically rear-ended, or we're supposed to see that he's rear-ended the ice cream truck. But what he does is just cross his arms and lay his head onto the steering wheel and then bounce up. And I was just like, oh my God, that happened more than once. The cop character was definitely a better actor than all of the other people.
Yes.
In the whole movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, and he also is like an actor that you've seen in other stuff. And I can't remember his name now.
Have we?
Yeah. That should have been a look up. But yeah, he's been in other stuff. I recognize him.
Okay.
Do I know where I recognize him from? No, but he's probably the only like name that they had.
Sure. Yeah. Wow.
If you can call it that. He's like a character actor in a lot of movies. Probably plays a cop in other movies too.
Oh yeah.
He seems to have that down, that no nonsense cop, you're not gonna fool me.
It was so Dragnet, just like the dialogue. Oh, terrible. Terrible. What do you call it? I did write astonishing acting and writing. I was astonished. What were the clowns doing in the drugstore? What did they want? Why were they clearing all the shelves and freaking out the guy? Why weren't they wrapping him up in some shit? That was dumb.
I didn't understand that part either. They don't need that. They don't eat that stuff, do they? They eat humans.
I know. Yeah, I don't. It was a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Shaving cream, just like eating up some time or something. How many clowns were there?
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't keep them straight. So
I couldn't either. I kept trying to like remember. They were all ugly. They were all ugly.
They all had very like patchworky outfits, like something that I think I could sew.
Oh, definitely.
Because they were just like shapeless jumpsuits, and it looked like they were put together with like quilting scraps. Some of them, one in particular, like really looked like it was like quilted material.
I just, I don't think that's what space clowns would wear. I mean, we've talked about futuristic clothing many times.
Yes. I think they're on track with the jumpsuit.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think a jumpsuit is it, but yeah, it would be more fitted.
Yeah. And I'm clown shoes. This is part of when it's a horror movie. Why? Obviously, clown shoes are going to make you walk really carefully and slowly, which it's always more ominous when the bad guy or the monster is coming at you slowly.
Right.
But why? Why isn't it running after you?
I've always, that's a thing that they do in like all movies.
Yeah.
The monster's coming slowly, or if you get caught by the bad guy, he holds you for too long and tells you his whole plan.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would they do that? They would just kill you.
Yeah. No, they're coming. You're fumbling with your keys. And the bad guy's probably thinking like, I don't want to waste my energy here. It's almost like he knows the guy's not going to bust through the door and run out.
Yeah.
What? No. Slow clown. It made me think back to, this was the episode that I did with Jody when we talked about Leprechaun. Yeah. And where, Jennifer Aniston had to run in slow motion. Because of he's chasing after her with a wheelchair and he's got these giant rubber hands and he couldn't really make it go very fast. So she had to do this scene running in slow motion, which these guys were totally running in slow motion through that fun house and all that stuff. Like I looked at them and I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's like, they're so why are they looking so weird? And then I realized it had to be that.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't, it's got to be that way. I'm sure like there is more slow motion running than we realize.
Yeah.
I'm going to practice that. Start. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Why did they put Debbie in the giant balloon and not just kill her outright?
I wondered that too.
They need some female clowns, it looked like. Or maybe they just have a sexist society where,
maybe females
they're
don't taste as good.
That's true. Maybe they taste better.
Yeah. They're like a delicacy that you save for a holiday.
Get ripe in that balloon.
They're aging her.
Oh my God. No idea. That made no sense. If the reason I asked why there were so many clowns or how many clowns there were is because we only really ever saw 5 at one time. Mm-hmm. I feel like 5 was the max. And then there seemed to be a lot of situations where they would just go after a single person.
Yeah.
I mean, that bus stop idea was brilliant because he got them all at once, old people. They're so easy to entertain. Shadow puppets. Wow. Creepy ass. Well, do you remember when clowns literally were on the news all the time? Mm-hmm. Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a thing. It was like around pandemic time, 2020. There was so much weird stuff going on. But I do remember that, that you would see people wearing clown masks.
Yes.
And there was a lot of copycats.
Yes.
So, like, there was a group of people that were doing, like, hoodlum shit. And then there was a lot of people copycatting that. And we saw a guy driving around the Walmart parking lot wearing one of those clown masks.
No.
And I was like, he's just out here, like, trolling people.
Yeah.
Like, probably doing circles in the Walmart parking lot to, like, freak people out.
Do you know, there is a guy, goes by Wrinkles the Clown.
Okay.
And there was actually a documentary about this guy. And there would be, put up posters and stuff. Parents would call him in order to scare their children. And there was some YouTube stuff that was actually staged, but it sure as hell looked fucking scary.
Yeah.
Where the clown was under the kid's bed and night vision camera, and he climbs out and the kid is sleeping and he just like stands there and then he looks at the camera and it... And your eye just twitched.
I feel like that's fucking traumatizing.
No, it was. And
why parents are doing this like as a punishment, or they thought it was funny?
Yes. Or they didn't actually, the notion that he's in their rooms, that's not real.
Yeah.
But they would call or threaten to call this clown to scare their children. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's parenting at its finest. It's really scary.
Wow.
So check that out. I don't remember what it's called, but he was called Wrinkles.
Okay.
It might even be called Wrinkles the Clown. I'm not sure. Yeah. Worth a look. And it's just this guy. I don't even think he showed his face.
Yeah.
In the whole documentary. And he realizes that it's gone crazy. Like, he gets phone calls all the time.
Wow. And this is like recent or?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, within the last decade or so. Yeah.
Wow.
Nuts, right?
Yeah.
Nobody likes clowns. Who likes them? And remember that clown movie? Did you say you had seen that too?
Yes, the one with the suit. Yeah.
Oh. Honestly, yeah. If I had seen this movie, even though I was 18 when it came out, I would have had nightmares. But that movie, I mean...
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
I had nightmares. It freaked me out. And they say in that movie that the origin of clown really was like a creepy child-eating monster person or whatever. So no, who likes clowns? No one.
No.
They're not funny. These weren't funny. And then you got your John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. I just saw it came up as you might like after watching this was a John Wayne Gacy documentary.
Oh, nice.
I did not watch it, though.
Oh.
I was like, I don't want to have nightmares about a real killer clown.
I watch too many of those things.
Yeah, I'm currently, well, this is off topic, but I'm currently in the middle of that American Nightmare on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I think I watched that one.
Did you? I'm not to the end of it, so no spoilers. But
okay.
It's like with this woman gets kidnapped in the middle of the night, and then the media starts calling her Gone Girl when she comes back, even though she really did get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Crazy.
It'll just make you angry at police. Oh
yeah,
and the media.
Yeah, I mean it's a wildly crazy sounding story.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you also have to be, as law enforcement. Why aren't you going? Okay, there's no reason to make something up.
Yeah.
Like that. There's no reason to put yourself through hours and hours of questioning at a police station if it's not legit.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like sexual assault. Don't be dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's doing this for attention.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Anyway,
let me go back to Debbie and her fashion.
Okay.
Because the first thing she's wearing is a great big sack, linen sack, kind of like overalls, and she's got it tied down with a great big old belt.
Okay.
Like a maybe 3-inch wide belt. Yeah, I would have worn that. But it also made me think of it's a drab version of the clown costume, except she's got it belted instead of poofed out.
Yeah.
And then later they drop her off at home. It's late. She was on a date. So she takes a shower.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. She puts on a full outfit, complete with necklaces. And I'm like, first of all, I was like, shaker knit. Like, that is so 80s. And then she's wearing little beads that we would wear them, in multiples, tiny little beads. I was just like, oh my God. And then at the bottoms of her pants, she had like 7 or 8 little things tied on the bottoms of her pants. And I was like, oh my God, that was like a blip. That wasn't even trendy that long.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed seeing that. And the only reason she had to get all the way dressed again is because she was about to be abducted into a balloon. Otherwise, she would have just gone to bed, I would think. Freaking clowns, man. Good God. Ugh. Anyway.
Well, just so you know, NBC Universal bought the rights in 2018.
Well.
So there's possibility that there could be that was 6 years ago now, but still, there could be on the horizon a sequel,
yes,
or a TV series.
No,
it's probably not media enough to be a TV series.
Yeah, the TV series, that sounds terrible. When I wanted to find out a little more about it, so I did Google it.
Yeah,
but I didn't read anything about it. I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled at all the merchandise that's out there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is a cult classic.
It really is.
If you get a Funko, it's got to be a cult classic. Yeah, everything. You can get the little gun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. Target. I mean,
Target, really?
Very mainstream stores, and also your Hot Topic and
sure,
whatever. But
yeah,
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, people, including myself, love this movie.
It had a great theme song. Yeah. I don't remember it, but it was good.
I don't remember it.
And what's Debbie got, really, that she's got 2 guys wanting to save her? She's the only girl in town.
It's a small town.
It is.
Well, and that was, at first I thought they were like in high school because they're out like parking, but they're really not. They're more like young adults, like 20s.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the goth guys with the receding hairline?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Did you guys go to the college? Why don't you stay there?
Yeah. You hooligans.
Oh,
there was no reason for that part.
Not at all. Other than they needed somebody in the jail cell.
Sure, but that...
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
I mean, he did kill them, but... The clown did kill them, but... They were just innocent bystanders.
Yeah, there was no reason.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Other than to just make Mooney more of a jerk, but he was already a jerk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. To establish his jerkiness.
Yeah.
And his denial.
Yeah.
I mean, he was onto something. I could see that being pretty funny. Like, you're going to retire soon, so we're going to play a prank on you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm like, when is he going to believe?
Yeah, not until the clown is there. And even then, he's like, he thinks it's like a person, not an alien.
Yeah.
He's like, ha ha.
Ha ha ha. And I thought he was going to beat this clown. It was doing what he wanted to turn around, you know. Handcuff, his hands come off, he has new hands. Oh, man. He just wasn't buying it. All I can say is a number 2 would actually be fun because you know that the video quality, the sound quality, and the special effects and the acting would be better.
Yes.
And the writing would be better.
Yes.
Sorry to those guys, but...
Yeah, it was perfect for 1988.
It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would watch it if they decide to make another one.
Oh, I would too.
I would watch it.
And we'll cover it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. So that's a must-watch.
I say
cult
must-watch.
classic.
Exactly.
Killer
Clowns from Outer Space, and clowns is spelled with a K.
Of course it is.
For some reason. Well, you know what? They missed an opportunity with the K's, I feel like, because on the cover little thing, it says, it's crazy with 3 A's, but they spell it with a C.
Oh, that's dumb.
They should have spelled it with a K.
Listen.
They should have consulted me and my marketing genius.
Yeah. They should have. You know, people, listen up. It's Wendy here. God.
Okay, movie number 2. Oh, before we move on to that, or I don't know if we want to put this at the end, but I forgot to bring up the 50 Shades thing.
Oh, right.
Well, I have 2 things to confess about the 50 Shades thing.
Uh-oh.
So, one of the things that we didn't realize and should have maybe known before we talked about it was that the 50 Shades books actually started out as fan fiction for Twilight.
That makes so much sense now.
And so we're like, no wonder it's the same movie. It's literally fan fiction. So she had to get, the author of 50 Shades had to get permission from Stephanie Meyer, who wrote the Twilight books, to make the books into films. And Stephanie Meyer actually was a consultant on set.
What?
Yeah.
Huh. If it's fan fiction, though, why do they need her permission?
Because if it's too close, then it can be considered copyright infringement.
Is it too close, though?
I don't know. I mean, it literally started as fan fiction, so I'm not sure. But the articles that I was reading say that, like, it's really kind of up to the person who owns the copyright at their discretion on who can use it. So they had, in order to, like, you know, make the films, they went to Stephanie Meyer to get her permission. But Stephanie says she's all about it. She encourages fan fiction of her stuff. And so she greenlit it.
What if Edward Cullen had a sex room? That would have made the difference. I mean, he would have had a multi-lifetimes, because he was old ass, to pull it together and make it perfect.
True.
Unlike Christian Grey, who supposedly
is only like 30.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Whatever, Christian. Okay, so the second movie, House. What did you think of it?
Oh, I forgot my other confession about 50 Shades.
Oh.
So, you know, when I went to go in to watch Mean Girls, which we'll talk about later, but I noticed that it said continue watching 50 Shades Darker.
Uh-huh.
And you know how I didn't remember the engagement and all that
stuff?
I didn't finish it.
Okay.
I must have stopped it for some reason, and I just never went back and finished it.
I've been known to do that. A time or two.
All right, now House. 1985.
Yep.
This is a whopper.
This is a whopper, and it's a good movie, I think, and it's deeper than I remembered, but the demons are super weird and gross.
Yeah.
And I was like, both movies are kind of an exploration in latex.
Sure.
and I don't know what else.
Yeah.
But, it takes place in a great big old house that the greatest American hero, that guy from that show, inherits.
Yes.
Right? From his dead aunt. But he grew up there. This guy, basically, we're supposed to believe that the house is haunted, but it's really he who is haunted.
I'm so confused by this movie.
It's a lot. You got
there's too many things going on. He's an author that wasn't even really necessary, I don't think, for him to be a famous author, except it got, I don't know. It got brought up a lot.
Yeah.
He's also a Vietnam War vet, which is, I guess, supposed to be like a comparison to him being haunted by that.
Yes.
But then, and his son is missing, and his aunt killed. I don't know. There's just a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And I didn't understand what was actually happening, because is the house haunted, or is the house like a portal to the spirit world?
I think so. I think that the house, because she said that the aunt, when he had that vision of her about to hang herself, the aunt said the house knows everything about you.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
made sense, because they, when he was having hallucinations, if they were hallucinations, I'm not sure. That part wasn't clear.
I don't know.
It would flash back to like Vietnam, and then he saw the ghost or spirit of his comrade that got killed.
Yes.
But it's like, then he goes, oh, this isn't real. So it wasn't his spirit of his comrade. It was just in his brain.
Yeah, I think so.
But then he can also take the grenade off his belt and burn the house down with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't understand what was happening. I guess the portal to the spirit world makes the most sense, because he was able to like go in between the worlds, and they were actually able to capture his son.
Right. The son was somewhere in some other realm. Totally fine.
Yeah. And the monsters didn't. Why?
I don't know.
They did.
You are right that there was just too many plot lines going on.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that he was a writer is just because every fucking movie, they're either a writer or an artist.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of that. But that trope of the writer going away to work on his book in solitude.
Yeah.
Even though that neighbor from Cheers?
Yeah.
Yeah. George Wendt. He was the best.
Yeah. He was good.
Especially when he tried to enlist his help to get to shoot the monster coming out of the closet.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, okay. But then it's real. And it's like, oh, so he saw it.
Yes.
So they manifested into physical things. I guess that happens all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I
guess if you're in the house, you can see. But they kind of made it seem like, well, maybe like it manifests to your own fears.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily make sense that they would see the same thing.
That's true. Yeah, there are some continuity issues.
Lots.
Lots.
I thought it was like an interesting, good movie, but I just was like, I don't get what's actually happening here.
It could be better by like taking out the whole storyline of the son.
Yeah.
And other stuff. You know what I did? One of the first notes I put down, and this does tie into some continuity issues, but I was like, is blonde curly hair ever okay on a man? I'm sorry. But the thing that I know, he's famous for his blonde curly hair.
Yeah.
What's his name? William Cat? Yes.
Yeah.
Which isn't what I thought his name was, but anyway, that's him.
Not Cat Williams.
No.
Very
not
different
Cat
people.
Williams. Do you know what that weird hillbilly man's name was in Clowns? Royal Dano.
Whoa.
What a great name, right? I wrote it down right away and I was like, which one is he? Anyway, that's a great name. The thing that I noticed about William Cat and his blonde hair is that it kept changing color.
Really?
Yeah, it would be really dark in one scene, really light in another scene. So it was like, okay, like, you know, a guy with hair like that, it's going to get bleached by the sun, and then you get a haircut and it's dark.
Yeah.
I was just like, wait a minute. This is a few minutes later, supposedly. Amazing house, huh?
Yeah.
I did like that there was a giant peacock stained glass
that was
window.
like the first note I wrote. It was like, oh, I love that. That peacock. And yeah, little details about the house. You know, they don't make stuff like that anymore.
No.
And like the fact that it's, you know, people don't decorate like that anymore either, with all the different colors and wallpaper and stuff.
Oh, God, there was so much wallpaper.
So much wallpaper.
But don't you think all old houses like that full of antiques are just haunted anyway?
Yeah, of course.
Antiques are haunted. They can be. Yeah. I just watched a whole thing about objects.
Yeah.
That people say, you know, once they got rid of it, the things stopped happening or whatever.
Something that you think you keep throwing away, but it shows up again.
Yes.
Yeah. It's always a doll.
I fucking hate dolls.
Me too. I'm with you.
I hate dolls. I hate clowns.
Yeah. Did you like dolls when you were little either?
I did, but not certain dolls.
Yeah.
No, not like a China doll. No,
Yeah.
I was terrified.
What about like, did you ever go through like a baby doll phase?
Yeah, but I had like a Baby Alive.
Okay.
You know, and that's like, it's so plastic.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the kind where their eyes open.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We found some of those old like fluttery baby doll in my grandparents' house when we were cleaning it out this summer. And I was like, oh, these are so creepy.
Have you ever seen the Doll Island? Oh, Google that.
Okay.
Google it.
Doll Island. All right.
Oh my God. Yeah, so what did you think of his deep V-neck sweater with no shirt underneath it?
Loved it.
I did
know.
too.
I don't really remember, but
I did.
I mean, he's an attractive man.
There were some shaker knit sweaters in his repertoire too. I also noticed that every time he wanted to be, quote, like relaxed, he pushed his sleeves up, even if he's wearing a suit coat. I was like, there is nothing that looks more 80s than pushing up your suit coat sleeves, Don Johnson. Oh, that's a circle back to 50 Shades because that's his daughter.
Oh, you're right.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Why did the floating garden tools go ahead and attack Richard Mole? Or no, they attacked the creepy latex lady.
Yeah.
I mean, weren't they part of the same thing, the same entity?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, like, they waited until the door opened.
Yeah.
To come out again.
Yeah.
If they're flying around, they could have busted that door open.
They busted the door of the shed. They poked right through it. So they obviously wedged themselves back out and then opened the door and then floated up to the house.
Yeah, but then they can be contained by a bedroom door.
Yeah.
I was worried when he shot that latex lady who was he was hallucinating as his ex-wife,
I guess,
that he really did shoot her.
Yeah,
but I don't think he did because she's alive at the end, right?
Yeah, she's alive at the end.
Yeah,
it's just fucking with his mind.
Yeah, that part was scary to me.
Yeah,
the part where you're like, I don't know what's real, and like accidentally hurting someone.
Well, imagine how he felt.
Yeah.
And he held it together when the cops showed up.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my God.
He was way cooler under pressure than I would have been.
Jeez.
I would have just led the cops to it.
And if you shoot out your front door, he lived right in town.
Yeah.
It's not like he isn't going to hit the house across the street.
Right.
Oh my God. That would have been. Then I don't know what's real and what's not real.
We've talked about this before, but yeah, guns are so unrealistic in movies. Like people shoot them willy-nilly, and like when they shoot them into the air or whatever, like you never see where the bullet lands.
Nope, you never do. You could totally get killed that way.
Yes.
just come right back down on you. Mm-hmm. Bullets dropping from the sky. Huh. It happens.
Yep.
Just like how people get killed by icicles.
Yeah. Perfect crime.
And pianos. Perfect crime. You're right, it is. It is. Did you tell me that?
I don't know.
Because then they melt and
There's no evidence.
No fingerprints, nothing.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. The little boy that he has to babysit, the neighbor's kid, has a little mullet. It's the worst haircut on a kid. And the severed big old latex hand is what I remember most about the movie. And he's chasing that kid around and it's on his back. How does the kid not feel that? So gross.
Yeah, it's like half of his size.
Yeah.
The hand. And he doesn't.
And the guy has to bite it so before it releases the child. Come on. But how I feel like, well, babysitting is always triggering. So, but him having lost his son, how is it not? I don't know. How did he just like sort of ignore that kid and just like go back to his writing? I feel like he would have kind of gone out of his way to play with the kid. If he truly missed his son. Or maybe his heart just wasn't in it.
The moral of the story, he's a bad dad.
He's a bad dad.
He let his son get captured by a house.
Yeah.
And then sent to Vietnam for some reason.
Big Ben. Big Ben. That's Richard Mall. He was in Night Court.
Yes.
He had chicken bones in an X on his helmet.
Oh, I didn't know
He had those
that.
tucked into the little ribbon around his helmet. I was like, what? Come on. They're out there eating wings? What's going on? They're not getting chicken.
Squirrel bones, maybe?
Gross. They had, the music was good. In
music
this
was
one.
very good.
It was upbeat. You know, you're no good. You're no good.
Yes. That was in my notes too. I loved the use of that song.
It was good.
It was perfect.
I liked it. So that movie is good with a lot of problems.
Yes. Even though I'm nitpicking it, I liked it.
Yeah.
It was entertaining for sure. And if you just didn't think about where all the stuff was coming from, if you thought of it just as like, maybe you think about it like a haunted house that you would walk through.
Yeah.
And during Halloween time, then it was cool.
And as far as the deep message, the Vietnam War and being, absolutely having PTSD, basically, that is a serious thing that it was almost treated lightly, kind of. I mean, the monster coming out of the closet, you could see men's faces in that monster. Yeah. But then the latex ladies, why were they women?
Well, the latex lady was like his ex-wife.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Representing the ex-wife. She's like wearing the
same dress and stuff.
Oh, you're right.
So that's why she's a lady. She's like, and she's got lipstick. So that makes her a lady.
So gross. Well,
yeah, she's like a worm, kind of.
Oh, so gross. Oh, yeah, just like neck roll. Like Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Pizza the Hut with lipstick. Okay. Well, that's all I got to say about that one.
All right. Yeah.
Another blast from the past.
Good 80s campy films. We should do this category again and be like, well, let's pick some newer ones. But I don't really
so much.
There's so many.
Yeah.
And I love this genre because I'm a nerd. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like creepy stuff and horror comedy.
I love it. We will again.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so next week we're going to do
the new
Mean Girls.
Yay!
The musical.
Ugh, I love a musical.
So tune in for that. We did Mean Girls, the first one, several episodes back.
Yep.
It'll be Mean Girls and Bridesmaids if you want to look for that one. But we thought we'd follow up with the musical.
I can't wait.
Yes.
See you next week.
Woo.
Okay, bye.
Bye.